This isn't going to be one of those videos where I pretend that I'm doing okay. Or I pretend that I really love myself. I don't like myself a lot of the time. I love things about myself. But ever since I was young, I've just been plagued by shame all the time. And it's because every single thing that I did, it was either made fun of or picked apart or and the older I get, the worse it is. It's actually gotten worse over the years. Like, I've learned to deal with it, but it's gotten worse over the years. The systemic, like, picking apart of me and dismantling me over the years has actually gotten worse. And the abuse against me has gotten worse over the years as well. It's gotten worse, and it's getting worse. And I just want it to stop. And it's not going to. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to accept the fact that the abuse is not going to. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to accept the fact that I'm always going to be tortured for the rest of my life. That I'm always going to be surveyed for the rest of my life. That I'm always going to be, lied about or have everything about me weaponized against me for the rest of my life. Even though I've been going through this for like 2 decades strong, right? Like, at least, I've known about this for at least 2 decades. As long as I've known about this, I don't think I will ever get used to it. I think my heart will always be broken by it. I think I will always have those moments where instead of being angry or triumphant, I'm just gonna cry like I did before I came on here. And I think I'm always gonna carry the shame because that's what abuse victims carry. This is what a lot of people don't tell you about going through gang stalking. When you go through things like this and you see the defensiveness of people who are victimized by the abuse, that's not anger they're feeling, it's shame. When you go through abuse, right? And especially when you're like, you're not especially like a fight or flight type of person. You don't fight and you don't flee because you're always told that the best response is to either fight or try to get away, right? When you are abused, and especially if you don't try to fight or try to flee, you don't feel angry at your abuser. You don't hate your abuser, because the magnitude of the wrong that they've done is so big that if you allowed yourself to feel it, you might internally collapse. If I allow myself to fully process the things that gang stalkers have done to me, I think what happened in December might have happened a long time ago, and I might have succeeded. I can't lie. Because I have to process all the mistreatment that I've suffered over the years. And another thing that I notice is that I tend to focus my ire on people that are not directly involved in my hurt or like people from the past, or people that aren't that close to me, aren't in close proximity to me. I focus my anger there, or I focus my anger on smaller things that people have done to me, because if I have to confront the magnitude of the major things people have done to me without remorse, you know, even enjoying like the bigger things that they've done, if I have to kind of like process the bigger things that people have done to me without remorse, the intentional transmission through the contamination of my foodstuffs, the contamination of my drinks, intentional transmission. That's a minimum of a 15 to 20 year sentence. What? No, not minimum, maximum. Tell a lie. It's a maximum of a 15 to 20 year sentence. The intentional transmission of the contamination of my drinks and my food. The fact that, you know, I get weapons fired on my chest and my, you know, and my heart and my kidneys and my lower back and my knees. I get a lot of shots in my knees. The fact that my jaw has been fired on so much that teeth have fallen out and my gums are eroding at a rapid rate. The fact that my vision isn't good because of what the electronic weapons have done to them. The fact that my aunt-in-law was murdered and my grandfather was murdered allegedly and my mother was murdered. The fact that family members of mine are betraying me at the same time that the gang stalking is also murdering them. I have to process that. I have to process the physical, mental and sexual abuse on a bigger scale that I've had to endure over the years that once again I didn't fight or flee from. I have to face the shame of what was done to me. It's actually easier for me to talk about the wrong that I've done or think about the wrong that I've done to other people. Like the wrong that I've done to other people, like it, you know, sometimes I forget. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I forget what I've done. And it doesn't really hit me until I watch a TV show or I hear somebody talking about it and then I remember, oh yeah, I did that thing. There are terrible things that I've done to people, ways I've traumatized people, I don't even remember. Now, granted, it's not as bad as the gang stalking. It will never be as bad as the gang stalking. But there are ways in which I've hurt people and it doesn't occur to me like until later on, oh, that there was a bad thing that I did. It doesn't occur to me till later. That was bad. But when it comes to me, the worst shame I feel is in how I handled people who abused me. That's the worst shame that I carry. I did say to you all, I'm not a good person. I did say to you, not all TIs are good, and this is the truth. I feel more ashamed at the abuse I took than the abuse I gave. And it's not good. It's not good. I feel more ashamed at how I responded to somebody physically assaulting me than I feel about like physically assaulting someone else. And even during times where I know it wasn't fair and I know it wasn't right to do certain things, like there are things that I still don't feel guilty about, and I know damn well I was in the wrong. But the things that were done to me, I just took it. And I didn't take it because of what I'd done to other people. I took it because the abuse that I suffered from an early age up until now, it had already left me so ashamed of myself that I didn't think people would care. And the worst part is that I was right. It's awful to know that you're being trafficked to death and nobody really cares. And if they do, they don't care enough to stop it. It's really, really bad, guys. It's really bad. Like, I make jokes and I have the bravado thing. And there are times where I look in the mirror and I look at the type of person I've turned into, and I really genuinely do like that person. There are times where I do like her, but I'm just ashamed all the time. And again, it's not because of what I've done, it's because of what I've gone through. The amount of stuff that people have done to me that I've let slide. I carry shame. I don't carry for shame for things that think for things. I don't carry shame for stuff that is my fault. But I carry shame for stuff that isn't my fault. I'm carrying shame for abuse and heartache that I didn't cause. And gang stalking is one of those things I'm carrying shame for. I'm literally like, if it wasn't for the destruction to this property, I would literally be the only person in this situation following the law. Nobody else is following the law. I'm the only one following the law. Why am I doing this? I'm literally, when you're a targeted individual, you are the only person in your nearest vicinities following the fucking law. You are the only one who is engaged in a phone conversation that you're not taping. You're the only one who is handling your affairs honestly as a targeted individual. Everybody else is lying and breaking the law, and not even just breaking the law, literally being traitors to the fucking country. You're the only one who is not a traitor. And that's not even by choice. But yeah, I'm ashamed of myself every day because of what the abuse has reduced me to. But I think that was the idea. I think that's the idea for people who abuse other people. They want them to feel shame. And I do. I feel shame every day. I just don't normally talk about it. I don't normally go online and cry about it. I don't normally go online and acknowledge it. But I'm ashamed of myself. And ironically, again, it's not because of what I've done. It's because of what was done to me and how I responded to it. I don't hate myself for it. I just wish that I'd have handled certain things a different way, even if it was at my own risk. I wish I'd have handled it a different way. That's it. That's all. Because even though it's other people who hurt you, you do blame yourself. And then in my particular case, when I hurt others, it's not that I thought it was their fault. Like, there are times where I verbally abused people or hit people or, did something more of a like that, that people didn't deserve, right? And I knew it wasn't their fault. And it's like, I can look at that situation objectively and say, yeah, that was uncalled for. What I did was uncalled for. I can look at that situation objectively and say, that was uncalled for. Acknowledge my wrongdoing, accept my wrongdoing, even make it right. Even feel empathy and kindness and compassion for the person I hurt without hating myself. I can do that. But I can't I can't think about the abuse that I've gone through. Think about the degradation that I've gone through. Think about the really bad abuse that I'm going through. Think about the way that I'm handling it and not feel utterly ashamed all the time. People are murdering me. There's nothing left to say. This is a slow cool torture program. There is nothing left to say. Why am I still talking? Why have I not done anything? The way people have endangered my life in so many different ways and I haven't acted. This isn't right. I feel ashamed. And that shame has me, that's the reason why I'm so self-aware. That's the reason why people can't tell me shit. It's because of the shame. Being obsessively self-aware is a mark of being profoundly ashamed of yourself. Because you don't want to do anything to incur that sense of shame onto yourself. But then again, you can be obsessively self-aware and still do the same things, so it doesn't help. I try not to, though. I'm sorry. I never thought I'd apologize to myself on camera, but Fabiana, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what we've accepted. I'm so sorry for what we've been forced to accept. I'm so sorry that I didn't protect you. Because it's not like you have anyone else, is it? It's not like you got your family. It's not like you got it's not like you got your friends. It's not like you've got a community. Most of these people are involved in your fucking murder. So I'm sorry that I didn't protect you. I'm sorry that I couldn't. I'm sorry that the only thing that I can say to you is that you are not your own worst enemy like you thought. That's the only thing that I can say positively about this situation that you're in, is that you are not your own worst enemy. And that's the only thing that I can say. But I am sorry to myself. I am sorry. And I know I should be saying, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't do more for TIs. I'm sorry I couldn't do more for... If I can't even do more for myself, I can't do more for anyone else. And God knows, a lot of you targeted individuals out there deserve the fucking world. You deserve more. You deserve better than whatever the fuck you're being subjected to. There's some of the worst people in the world walking free. You are literally being murdered and tortured and slandered and smeared. To say you deserve better than this hell, this existence that you've been thrust into, that's really understating the situation. It's understating it. You deserve way better than this. And I wish I could be the kind of person to help you properly rather than just getting online and talking about what I know. I wish I was a better type of person for you. I can barely get out of fucking bed. I want you to look at something. Hang on, let me just get something on at the moment. I gotta get a lower half on. I've got to get a lower half on, yeah? Because I want to show you something. I want to show you how I live day to day because of everything that I go through. I want to show you how I live. And everything in my head is screaming, no, don't show them anything. No, you guys have got to see this because you have to see the effects of the torture. You have to see the effects of what life is like when you are being trafficked daily. Sorry everyone, I've just got to put this onesie on. So, I'm going to show you something now. This is how I live every day. This is how I live. This is my life. I'm 40 years old and this is how I live. I don't normally show the people these things. But this is what I live like. This is what I live like. So, yeah. It looks worse on camera than it does in life, but it's still pretty fucking bad. So this is how I live every day. Because I'm not being funny, but I'm not going to be trafficked daily, tortured daily, barely able to get up out of bed in the mornings. I'm not going to be able to do any of that and still keep a tidy home. The amount of bullshit taunts and the constant noise pollution and the sleep deprivation and the electronic torture on my body and the attempts on my life. And the attempts on my life are constant. I just waking up in the morning with the voice to skull as well, saying the most disgusting things. So it's either they're saying the most disgusting things or the most disrespectful things, or they are bombarding me with loud noises to wake me up out of my sleep. And that's just the voice to skull, let alone the cunts I have to live next door to. And the neighbours that I have to live nearby. This is what I don't understand about abusive people, right? They will batter the fuck at I swear they live by Nazi logic, right? They live by this logic that if you keep kicking a puppy and that puppy keeps coming back, if that puppy comes back more than you can kick it, then somehow that puppy is worthy, right? If you kick a puppy and you get tired of kicking it, but the puppy keeps coming back, and then you get tired of kicking it, but the puppy still comes back, then that's a good puppy to people. It's the same with everyday life, right? You're supposed to take all this abuse. You're supposed to take all this abuse, even life-threatening abuse, and still be able to fucking function. The nerve of these fucking gang stalkers talking to me about not having a job when me not having a job was the fucking point. They didn't want me to work. They didn't want me to do anything with my life. I wanted to do something with my life. They didn't want that for me. But that's what the fuck they do. They want to turn around and they want to deny you everything that you're supposed to get. But then if you go out and you're able to get it anyway, oh, then you're good. No, fuck you. They took everything from me. They took everything from me. They take everything from me. Even with magic, right? I love magic. I love it so much. I didn't realize until I got older and until I started just messing around with cards and stuff. I didn't realize that magic was the thing that was made for me. I love magic. And that seems to be the one thing that hasn't changed, really, that can't be taken away from me. It doesn't matter how much I go through it. And over the years, people have tried multiple hexes and curses on me, and I don't know if I'm I don't know if sorry, someone's online, hang on. I don't know if they've worked or not, or the hexes or curses have worked. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But there seems to be the one thing that doesn't matter to me. It could fucking work out. It's like I don't really give a shit whether it works or not. Or maybe I do, but it's like, even with the hexes and stuff, even though I've got to think about that, I've got to think about people also doing spell work on me. It's like my love of what I do outweighs my fear of what these people are doing to me magically. It's like my love for what I do, it outweighs my fear of their hexes or curses affecting my life. I love magic way too much to be scared of that shit. That's the one thing that that can't be taken away from me. Why do you think these people up here try to bring up the entities that I practice, that I call upon so much, or why do you think they do it? It's because the perps understand and the gang stalkers understand that magic is the one thing that it doesn't matter what shit they're talking, they can't take away from me. That's why they constantly bring it up. It's because that's the one thing that my faith in my own magic, it just cannot be shaken. That's the one thing even my own fucking shame couldn't ruin. Even my own self-disrespect could not ruin my love for magic. It couldn't ruin it. That's the one thing. Even my fucking my self-flagellation couldn't ruin. Like, I want to show you something else. Hang on, I want to show you something positive this time. Look at this. I've been saving up, like, look at this shit here. Like, I've been saving up herbs and stuff. And what I like to do with these things, I like to create something called simmer pots, where I put like lots of different herbs in like a pot. Like this one, this is the latest simmer pot that I made like yesterday, right? And what I'll do is I'll put some herbs and some like ginger and cinnamon and all kinds of herbs in it. And what I'll do is I'll boil it. And what it does is it releases fragrance throughout the house, and it also really, really helps with congestion as well. So that's the type of stuff that I do. Like, I like to do stuff like that. Also, you know, I like to work with candle magic. And it's like, throughout everything, that's like the one thing. Yeah. I'm glad you like it. It's like the one thing that really it's the one thing that I really love to do. And again, it's the one thing. It's the one thing that shame couldn't take away from me. No amount of abuse could take away from my love for magic. It's been in me since I was a kid. Since before I was old enough to know what magic was, magic has been in me. It's been a part of who I am. And I didn't even fucking know until I was 15. And somebody brought up Wicca, and my ears pricked up. Now, I'm not Wiccan, right? Because I'm not religious. I operate, you know, a craft practice. I'm not Wiccan. Wiccans don't do what I do. So I'm not Wiccan, right? But it's since I heard about Wicca, since I heard about, like, it just, my ears were as soon as I heard that. And it was a subtle thing. It wasn't a big thing. It was a love that kind of grew over time. And it made me realize that, like, all my life, when I was, you know, I had maladaptive daydreaming. And I was trying to kind of, like, rearrange my world into what I wanted it to be in my own head when I was engaged in maladaptive daydreaming. My mom thought I wanted to be an actress. I thought I wanted to be the top dog in everything. You know, we were both wrong. My dad thought I wanted to live in a fantasy world for the rest of my life. He was wrong too. Everybody, because of my maladaptive daydreaming, everybody thought they knew what I wanted, including me. I thought I knew what I wanted. I was wrong. They were wrong. We were all wrong. What I really love, who I really am, is magic. That's who I am. And every month or so, I think even every 2 weeks, I'll clean this place up. Really, really try to clean it up. And I have a little ritual, and I'll communicate with the spirits that I invoke. Sometimes I won't invoke spirits. Sometimes I'll just rely on what's in here. But I'll communicate with them. I'll talk to them. I'll show my gratitude. I'll pray. I'll make petitions. You know, I'll communicate with them. That's what gives me my power. That's what gives me my drive. And then I got to put up with these fucking gang stalking cunts. Like, because every single thing that is happy for me, they want to fucking ruin. And they brag about it too. And they're just vile. And I'm thinking, why are these people still alive? They clearly don't have any. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, like, the gang stalkers behind the perps. They clearly don't have a capacity to feel joy. Because if they did, they wouldn't need to torture people to feel some semblance of life. Why the fuck are they still here then? Talk about a waste of fucking space. I can't even go out for a day. Just take a day to myself. Just go out for a day. I can't even go out for a couple of hours and not worry about what's going on in my home. I just want to take every single semblance of joy and happiness away from me. And there are times where you just get fed up. No, yeah, they're sadistic. They're just pathetic. They're just pathetic. I'm sorry, I've got Yara Shema on here who's really being really sweet and supportive. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. They're fucking pathetic. They're fucking pathetic. It's just, you know, just fucking gross and disgusting. And it's like, and the thing with me is that I keep trying to give gang stalkers the benefit of the doubt. And this is where I have to be really honest about this, right? I don't do it because I have faith in the perps. I already know the perps are willing to kill me, willing to potentially poison me, willing to fucking break into my home, willing to, you know, fire electronic weapons on me if they can, willing to hex me if they really think that I'm not paying them enough attention. I know what the gang stalkers are willing to do. I know they don't give a shit. I know they don't care about me. I know that they are selfish and cowardly and dishonest and sadistic. I know. But I think the reason why I tried to give perps the benefit of the doubt is because my life is full with so much negativity, so much awful stuff going on, that sometimes just for the sake of having something positive to talk about, just for the sake of having something hopeful and beautiful to hold on to, sometimes I'll pretend that the perps are better than they are. Because I just need to believe that there is some human decency somewhere. But there isn't. This is the horrible truth, right? Most people are evil. And I know it sounds cynical to say, but yeah, most people are not good people. And most of the people who are really like popular in this world, they know how to make bad people feel good about themselves, lift their spirits, make them forget what they are. You know, that's what industry is revolved around. That's what everything is revolved around. That's what keeps people going. For them to forget what they are, what they really are. And I think that's how gang stalking is able to thrive, because a lot of people have forgotten what they are. And a lot of people, because they live in their heads so much, because they're good people in theory, they think that translates into being good people, period. And that's not how that works. You can't be a good person in theory. Being good is something that you do. You can't be a good person in theory. There has to be actions to demonstrate that you're a good person. You're not a good person just because you feel like one. Just because you have a self-image fed to you that you are a good person, like through virtue of doing nothing. Just because you have that image fed to you, it doesn't make it so. You have to actually be a good person to be a good person, and not just think that you are. And a lot of us aren't, myself included. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are not good people. When you really hold their actions up to scrutiny, and especially people gang stalking me, I have to look back at like a video that I made just, I think it was, hold on a minute, what time is it? like just today. I have to rethink a video I made just today where I said, you know, the current perp stalking me now are good people. They're not good people. Good people don't do that shit. Good people do not do shit like this. And, you know, and good people especially do not gang stalk you, go out of their way to emotionally annihilate you, and then have the entitled nerve to want acknowledgement from the same person that you're fucking with. Good people don't do that. Good people don't create the kind of shame and disarray in me that they've been creating. That good people don't do that. And I realize all my life I've been surrounded by people who are good people in their own heads. Everything that I showed you, that's like a healthier version of me. That's like a healthier, unmasked version of Fabian that you're seeing. I used to be a lot worse than this. I used to be a lot worse than this when I like the amount of talking out loud I used to do with myself because of the maladjusted daydreaming, the amount of disarray that my home was in. And I used to think there was something wrong with me, and I realized no, there was something wrong with my environment. Because I was surrounded by people who thought in their heads they were good people, and I fucking believed it because I was so ashamed of myself because of the amount of abuse that I've been subjected to. I believed these people when they said they were good, but no, they're just good in their own heads because of what the society teaches them. That being that as long as you are of service to this world, as long as you do something, you know, you have a job or you have this, as long as you're of service to the world, then you're a good person. That's what a lot of people are told. That's what a lot of people are told. As long as you're of service to the world, you're a good person. And this gang stalking life has taught me what monsters really are. Monsters are not always people like Jeffrey Epstein. They're not always people like Donald Trump. Sometimes they're just families trying to survive. Sometimes those are monsters. Think about it like this. A lion's trying to survive too. Lions are trying to survive. Cheetahs are trying to survive. You know, lions are trying to survive. Cheetahs are trying to survive. Fucking hyenas. Hyenas are trying to survive. But what does that type of survival look like to a zebra? What does it look like to a buffalo? What does it look like to an antelope? A tiger is trying to survive. But how does its prey interpret that? That's how you have to think about this. Just because the perps and gang stalkers are trafficking, torturing, and murdering you to survive, it doesn't mean they're not monsters. And just because you work and you have a job and you tick all the quotas, it doesn't make you any less of a monster. It really doesn't. It really, really doesn't. And as World War III kicks up a notch, they're going to understand that. They're predators. They're predators. It doesn't matter how much you serve society, you're a predator. And the horrible reality is, it's only because you're a predator that you're able to serve society. That's another thing that I've realized. I come from a family of killers. Not in the like the actual sense, not in the literal sense, but in the metaphorical sense. I come from a family of successful people. Successful people are usually killers who always target their prey carefully. Just like these people, just like the people, any person who runs a business, any person who knows how to run a business, who knows how to talk to people, they know how to pick their fucking prey. They are monsters. They're monsters. Don't let a damn thing fool you. And I'm sitting over here, you know, the one being treated like a monster. I'm just a normal fucking woman. Normal. I'm just a normal fucking woman. Like, even with the fucking, like, neurodivergence and the borderline personality disorder and the maladaptive daydreaming, literally just normal. Literally. Treated like a fucking space alien because people need to justify their monstrous behavior. I thought I just wanted to be a good person and a productive member of society. Turns out I wanted to be a monster the whole fucking time and I didn't know. Yes, they're all monsters and they love it when we get sad or angry. They get a buzz out of it. You see, this is the thing. Yes, they're all monsters, but not all of them love it when we're sad or angry. And the reason why this is because it messes with their sense of self-worth. It messes with their self-image. A lot of people are monsters, yes, but they don't like the idea or the reality that they've hurt someone else with their behavior. That's why they deny it. That's why they deny their behavior. They don't like the idea of being the type of people they hate, being the type of people they're taught to hate. Because then they have to look at themselves. They don't want to do that. Yeah, I wanted to be a monster too. Not in the sense of enjoying other people's pain, but sorry, I'm eating Wingstop. I wanted a normal life. I think the ones with the DEW's weapons love what they do. Oh, that's indisputable. Love reacts with that one. But yeah, the electronic torturers for sure love what they do. Gives them a feeling that they're God, you know. And I feel ashamed of myself for letting them do certain things to me. And I hate admitting it, but it is what it is. I wish I wasn't so ashamed. I am a really, really strong person. When I said I was a badass and this, that, and the third, yeah, it was overinflation, but it's also the truth. I am a pretty strong and tough person. I am. I'm just not tough in the traditional sense that everybody thinks I am. My strength is different. My strength is internal. It's not external strength, even though I'm strong, right? But it's like, my strength is from the inside out, not the outside in, like a lot of other people. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know about you, sweetheart. They are always zapping me and got V2K machine all the time doing my head in. Baby, I wanted to ask you about that actually, because you had some problems with your heart, right? It's gonna take a while for the comments to show up, but like, are you okay now? Like, have you recovered from the DEW weapons on your heart? Like, what's going on with that? Let me know, okay? I feel better showing you my mess actually. I might do some body doubling during a live or something where I try to clean up my house. Something, you know. But I think, like, for the most part, it's just like a lack of storage. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's always been a lack of storage. And the thing is, the reason for that is because, okay, so first of all, I don't leave my house because I'm afraid they will contaminate my things, which they do. You know, if I even deign to go out and enjoy myself, like, these people are such cunts. Like, if I go out and enjoy myself and come back, you know, I don't know if they fuck with my things or not, you know. But, you know, that's one thing. And what I notice is that, oh, hang on. You're still getting a racing heart. Oh, babe. I get that too. I get that too. Hold on a minute. I get that too. I get, yeah, oh no, that's not good. Oh no. Yeah, it's stress. So I can't remember what nerve it's called. I think, I don't know if it's the vagus nerve or something, but like when you're under stress, your vagus nerve is like, it's something to do with the vagus nerve or something, but it messes with your executive functioning. So it's like a person with a normal, like, non-stressed brain can like function and pick up after themselves. But if you're incredibly stressed, it's like you're kicking stuff all over the floor. Like you're just trying to find that one thing that you're looking for. And then you kind of leave the place a mess, like that type of thing. Do you understand what I mean? So, yeah. So, no, I get that. Yeah. It's, once again, it's damage to your brain and damage to your nervous system. That causes your inability to function. That causes executive dysfunction. So yeah, that's what the torture does to you. It, you know, conversely, it could give you OCD. It can make you overly tidy. You know, but coming back to what I was saying before, when I leave my house, if I'm not present in my home so much, if I'm not in my house so much, of course I'm going to have an easier time cleaning it because I'm not here. Do you understand what I mean? If you're not in your house all the time, you have an easier time cleaning it because it's like, do you know what I mean? It's just common sense. Like, the more you use something, the more you have to clean it. If I'm not in my house all the time, it means I don't always have to clean it. So you have a tidier house when you're able to go out every day and see people and do stuff. You have a tidier home when you do that. I don't go out all the time because, again, every time I go out, if I do anything the normal way, the gang stalkers fuck with it. So it's like, that's one of the reasons why I've eaten so many takeaways. You try to do anything the normal way, the gang stalkers will fuck with it. You try to do anything the normal way, gang stalkers will fuck with it. Can't go out. If I had my way, I'd go out every day. I would go out walking, like about 7 or 8 o'clock, maybe even 6 o'clock. I'd go out there, but I'd go out walking. One of my favorite things to do is to go out walking when nobody else is about. That's one of my favorite things I used to love doing as a kid. Going out walking when nobody else was present. It's what I used to love doing. Can't do that now. And it's Brighton. You know how beautiful it is here? I live in a place where the South Downs are. You know how gorgeous it is around here? The views you get? Just out my window, I can see the sea. It is so gorgeous out here. Like, if I kept my way, I'd be out walking every day. Can't trust it. And then that's the first thing. The second thing is the lack of storage. And the reason why I have a lack of storage is because I don't want to have to take a whole bunch of shit with me. Because, you know, when you have your own home, you know, a lot of stuff tends to build up. Like, it tends to build a lot of visual noise. And it's not just about cleaning, it's also about moving. Because the way these gang stalkers work is they like to move me every 4 to 5 years, or they like to provoke a move every 4 to 5 years. So I'm always got a bag half packed, right? So I try not to have any amenities close by. I try not to, because it's like they want to keep me permanently displaced. So I have to prepare for that. Lack of storage contributes to a messy home. Third thing is hoarding. I'm really bad with that. I'm really bad with hoarding because I don't trust anybody. And I don't trust anybody because of gang stalking. And everybody's going to say, oh, it's excuses, excuses. No, fuck you. Okay? I'm not a cleaner. This is not something that I do for a profession. I'm going to list the reasons. And I know, Yara Shema, I'm not saying fuck you specifically. I'm saying, like, people like to say, you know, oh, you're just making excuses to have a messy home. No. Every time I wake up and I see my place is a mess, I am fucking stressed. But I am literally paralyzed by trauma and by executive dysfunction. That's why my place is the way it is. But mess is actually stressful. It literally stresses me out on top of everything else that I'm going through. Why? Because it's a reminder of what's being done to me. It's a reminder of what my life actually is. It's a reminder that at 40 years old, with the talent and capabilities that I have, that I haven't fully utilized my talents. Not yet anyway, that I haven't fully lived up to my potential. And that cruelty has prevented me from doing it. And abuse and cowardly family members and cowardly so-called friends and cowardly neighbors have prevented me from doing that. Because every single time I used to play piano, I used to play keyboard when I was back in London. I don't dare bring my keyboard here now. I used to play keyboard. Gang stalking traumatized me out of it. Because that's what the fuck they do. Aloe vera juice, used to drink that. Gang stalkers traumatized me out of that too. Guess why? And I'm betting like there are perps right now giddy with excitement that they traumatized me out of doing certain things that were healthy for me. And those are small fry. Those are small things in comparison to some of the fucking wild shit that I've been through. And I get really tired of having to put a brave face on because I know nobody really cares. I mean, Yara Shema, I know you care. And thank you for that. But like, I know barely anyone really cares. Like online, I have some of the most supportive friends on the planet. Like I have people online that I've known for decades just repeatedly showing up for me. Repeatedly. In real life though, good luck. Good luck with that in real life. It's a fucking mess. And again, people are monsters, because if they weren't, emotional destruction wouldn't work. The whole thing about like making you as unattractive and unlikable and weak as possible, like having that trifecta would not work if people were good people. It would not work. It would be a failed strategy. If people were good, it wouldn't be such an effective tool to traffic people with. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Most people are not good. Most of us are not good. We're just looking for our own peace of mind. That doesn't make for a good person. And because we have like stronger, more likable, more attractive people making us feel like we're good people. And this is what I notice about people like that, right? The only reason why, we defend them or we ride for them the way we do is because we want the opportunity to look like a hero. We don't actually care about them. The people that make us feel good. We don't actually care about them. All we care about is being the hero next to them, is proving that we're the hero. We don't actually listen to them either. Even the people that we borderline worship. We don't listen to them either. We don't really care about their feelings. We care about the way they make us feel when we look at them. That's what we care about. And every time, we do something for them or we celebrate them, that's just us trying to prove to ourselves that we're good people. But it's like we're doing that with people that we already want something from. So how are we good people? When somebody's unlikable and somebody's unattractive and somebody's weak, but they're a good person, and you do something for them, even though you know that person can't do anything for you, that's a good person. That's a good person. Because they can't do shit for you. If they're weak and unlikable and all the rest of it, they can't do shit for you. But you're still willing to defend them, you're still willing to help them, that's a good person. And I'm very happy to say there are people like that out there too. Not many. They're few and far between. But they're out there. Not enough of them. Not nearly enough of them, but they're out there. And I want to be one of those people. But unfortunately, I can't be one of those people if I'm also the kind of person that I would want to help. Catch 22. Yeah. I just want a normal life. I'm never going to get one, and I'm mourning for that, I think. I think I'm grieving for that. Anyway, if Yara Shimmer, you're still there. Hold on a minute. I'm not as good looking as... Yeah. Oh, babe. So you going through that shit too? I hate that for you. Yeah, okay. So Yara Shimmer says, yeah, it's not good, as I'm looking after granddad since my mum was tortured to death. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through that. That's awful. I'm sorry. It's just what these people do to you. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, my love. It's not easy. Yeah. And I bet, you know, if there are gang stalkers, if there aren't gang stalkers that are enjoying this right now, and I know there are, then there are those of them that are going to be like, oh, now I feel terrible. Like, piss off. It's like learning about how gang stalking, how bad gang stalking really is. Learning that gang stalking is facilitating defense machinery and genocide in other countries and trafficking of all kinds. Like learning that gang stalking facilitates these things. For you to turn around and say, oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Why should you have to know it's that bad? If you're a good person for real and not just a good person in your own fucking head, why would you need to know how bad it is before you don't do some shit like this? Let me see what you look after your granddad every day. Okay, babe. 1 second, let me just find you. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. As is my mum, yeah. I wish they'd have known each other. Oh, yeah, I know about your little ones as well because of their dad. Yeah, I know about that, sweetheart. If I go quiet, it's because I've taken my sleeping. Babe, just go to sleep. I'm gonna go anyway. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go anyway. So just get some sleep, my love. Like, yeah, sleeping tablets. Having to take sleeping tablets because of this gang stalking shit. For me, it's a weighted blanket. It's a weighted blanket and food. And that's another thing. You know, I became addicted to food when I was really, really young because the inflammation in your body from overeating, in my particular case, that's what helped me sleep. It still helps me now sometimes. So it's like food and a weighted blanket, you know. So, yeah, just go to sleep, my darling. We'll talk soon anyway. And I want to thank you for being here with me anyway and keeping me company in this live, because usually I don't film these lives for an audience. Usually I film it so that I can upload it onto YouTube because, you know, to save the memory. But I've really appreciated having you here and, you know, having you contribute. It means a lot to me that you would want to support me during this time because I don't get a lot of support. I don't get a lot of support. I don't get a lot of people thinking about me and thinking about how I am, like, genuinely. Like, I don't get a lot of that. So whenever I do get it, I appreciate it. I hang on to it. And yeah, thank you, Yara. Get some sleep, my darling. I'm going to go now. Thank you for keeping me company. And as for my fellow TR seeing this after the live, I love you. Stay strong. And I'm sorry about what we're going through.